Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope you all are fine and doing great in your lives. Okay, so yeah, just wait a second so that I could send it to my friends in the group, and then we will start inshallah. Okay. Where's that? Yes. Where's that? Okay. Okay, so let's start. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Enjoyment comes with mastery. So when you are first learning something new, before you begin to create brain links, it can often seem difficult and unenjoyable. Let's take learning to ride a bicycle, for example. At first it was hard just to remain upright. You crashed to the ground and sometimes it hurt. Once you began to ride upright, then you had to learn how to not press the brakes too hard and how to turn without falling. But once the initial, more difficult learning stage passed and could just jump on the bike and ride, you became an expert. Fantastic. This brings us to an important point. Sometimes you do not enjoy things because you have not yet mastered them. You are still in the how do I balance my bike early stages, where it all can seem very difficult. Just start. The first steps are often the most difficult. Enjoy the process and wait for the results to come. Key ideas. Let's review the key ideas of this chapter. Creating a set of brain links helps you think complicated thoughts. You can easily pull up lots of interlinked information. Without sets of brain links, your mind can become overwhelmed, like when Rachel was first trying to back up the car, right? So when you are trying to learn something new, you haven't yet created brain links. So your attentional octopus has to use all four arms. It has to work hard. When you haven't linked the material, you can feel confused, like you just can't grasp it. Of course, that's not true at all. You just need to start by building some little sets of brain links. With practice, little brain links become longer ones. Your octopus can pull them right up and work easily with them. The earliest steps of learning something new are often the hardest. Make a library of set of brain links, and you will be well on your way to becoming an expert. In the next chapter, you will get to know more about Terry Sanjowski. He is a neuroscience expert. You will find that he wasn't always that way, though. Pause and recall. What were the main ideas of this chapter? Can you picture some of these ideas with images, like the octopus in your mind's eyes? Close the book and look away as you do this. If you are having trouble, try writing the ideas down. Check this box when you are done. Okay, now you try. Going without your smartphone. If you have a smartphone, leave it somewhere else the next time you are doing your homework. Commit to leaving it there until your Pomodoro is over. Otherwise, you might be tempted to sneak a peek when things get tough, and that just makes it tougher to tune back in. Summing it up, a set of brain links is a pathway of connected neurons in your long-term locker memory that is built through practice. A set of brain links helps your working memory to process information more quickly. Brain links like these are easy for your attentional octopus to grab onto. Your octopus gets tired if it has to keep switching its focus from one set of brain links to a completely different one. So try to avoid distraction and task switching. Without set of brain links, we get confused when we try to put too much into our mental school bag. We all have a maximum cognitive load. There is a limit to what we can deal with at one time in our working memory. The earliest steps of learning something new are often the hardest. Be patient and keep working away. Look for the click of delightful enjoyment as a set of brain links begins to form and you get how to do something. Check your understanding. Why are brain links important? Explain what your attentional octopus does. A good example of a linked ideas is tying your shoes. When you first were learning to tie your shoes, you had to pay close attention. But now you can easily tie your shoes while you talk to others, watch television or sing a song, name other activity or a concept you have linked. What happens to your attentional octopus if you work with the television on? Why should you avoid task switching? What should you do with your phone when you are working on your homework? Why? Does understanding a concept create a set of brain links? How do you get to be an expert at something? If you are to be rescued from a burning building, would you choose a firefighter who had just watched people being rescued from burning buildings? Or would you choose a firefighter who had physically practiced rescuing people from burning buildings? Why? When you are done, you can compare your answer with the ones at the back of the book. Okay, picture walk done, and notebook ready for the next chapter. So we are in the chapter 10. Learning with clubs and groups, finding your mission, and how Terry nearly burned down the school. Hi, my name is Trey Sanjowski. Great to meet you. I was different from Barb and all. Growing up, I was the science guy in elementary school, but I didn't get along with languages. I had a chemistry lab in my basement. I loved making bright flashes, bangs, and clouds of smokes. When I was 7 years old, I made a papier-mâché volcano that set the smoke alarm off. Everyone in the school had to evacuate. They all remember the day I nearly burned down the school. Terry the troublemaker. Okay, so in high school, I was bored in my science classes. They were too simple for me because I had gotten ahead. I asked a lot of questions, but I was told that I was disrupting the class. I was a troublemaker. Mind you, just because you are bored doesn't mean that the work is too easy for you. It might just mean you aren't being curious enough. So, my fellow club members and I are preparing to bounce radio signals off the moon in the radio club at St. Joseph High School in Cleveland. I am the one in the middle, right? He's okay. So radio club saved me. We were a group of science lovers who used to meet after school to learn about and build radios. We practiced sending signals using Morse code. We even bounced radio signals off the moon using antennas we had built. Finally, I could ask whatever question I liked. One of the best ways to have satisfying experiences at school is to join clubs and groups at your school that do activities you enjoy. If you are homeschooling, there are often ways to join clubs and groups outside of or even connected to local school. Don't be afraid to ask about forming a new club if it doesn't exist at your school, like a learning how to learn club. Finding friends with whom you can share what you love doing is an excellent way to develop true friendship and help your creativity bloom. Right? So the club members and I are adjusting a radio antenna on the roof of my high school. I am the one on the left. Right? Okay. So what is your mission? One day the teacher supervising the radio club asked me a question. What is your mission? I don't know, but it made me start to think about the future. I needed to grow up and find something to do in life. I was most interested in gravity and brains, right? How does gravity travel? Why can my brain learn some things really quickly, like physics, and do not other things like languages? I wish I knew then what I know now about the brain and how to learn. I would have done much better at languages like Barb and all. I had taken classes in German, but it wasn't until later when I had a German girlfriend that I learned enough German to at least get by. Maybe I just wasn't motivated enough in high school. What I learned at Princeton, I was lucky and my okay, just read it. I was lucky and my career in science went well. I received some wise advice from a famous professor, Carl Anderson. Like Santiago Ramon y Cajal, Carl Anderson had won a Nobel Prize, had discovered the positron. Professor Anderson asked me if I wanted to do theory or experiment. I said, why not both? He said it was possible and gave an example of someone at Caltech who I later got to know. Getting advice from someone you respect can have a big impact on your life. I learned a lot of physics in graduate school at Princeton University. I made exciting discoveries about black holes and gravity. I was lucky to have good mentors and smart friends. It really helps to work on difficult problems with other people. Find people who let you sparkle. Hanging around with people who have good ideas can boost good ideas of your own. I had reached a turning point. I had answered my questions about physics and gravity, but I still didn't know much about the brain. Yogi Berra, the philosopher catcher of the New York Yankees baseball team, said something wise. When you come to a fork in the road, take it. I took the road to biology. Yes. So here I am at Princeton. Black holes competed with brains and other interest for my attention. Brains won. Right. Okay. So the later story we will read it tomorrow inshallah. Yes, okay. Thank you for joining me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.